EDAR Assignment 2. Evaluation video by Mollie Russell. The United Nations Declaration of Human Rights was created to promote equality and fairness amongst adults and children. Article 26 reads, "Everyone has the right to education. Education should be free, at least in the elementary and fundamental stages. Elementary education shall be compulsory. Technical and professional education shall be made generally available, and higher education shall be equally accessible to all on the basis of merit." When our group was given this article as a component of the gift in our art workshop, our initial thoughts included equality, equity, diversity, history, individuality, racism, and sexism. Our discussion of the topic made us realise that there are so many different ways to view this article, and something that we all agreed upon was the vital importance of it. We began to imagine where we would be today if we did not have this right to education. We began to think about others' experiences in the past and others' experiences today in less fortunate parts of the world. After discussing some of the upsetting topics regarding discrimination in education, we began to work on our claymation animation. Some issues that crossed our minds were, how can we introduce discrimination in a child-friendly way? And how can we demonstrate the beauty of diversity in a classroom setting? We decided to use the simplicity of contrast to depict the difference between the past and the present, using monocolour schemes at the beginning of the animation and introducing a rainbow of colour at the end. The celebration of diversity in the classroom that is shown in the animation is something that all students should appreciate and experience for themselves. With this in mind, we decided to make the focus of our instalment a self-reflection upon our education experiences. We asked ourselves several questions such as, what does education mean to us? How can we make the most of our right to education? What factors have played a part in us reaching tertiary education? And why is education so important? These are questions that all students should have the opportunity to consider and answer for themselves. After much discussion, we decided on 4 main points that we felt were important. Diversity of people attending university, hard work and commitment of those attending, opportunities that education allows, and that education opens doors to a brighter future. If this installation was created by other people, they most likely would have focused on different points, which is part of the beauty and uniqueness of collaboration. This installation creates a starting point for our primary or secondary students to continue their own self-reflection. A whole school focus question could be, what does education mean to you? This would have several purposes. Firstly, it would be to encourage students to make the most of their right to education, to encourage students to appreciate that right, to encourage students to understand that not all children have the same education experiences. There are many connections to the Victorian curriculum within history, geography, English, maths, the arts, and ethical capabilities and intercultural capabilities. 2 of the main connections would be within history and geography. Firstly, explain the significance of an event and an individual or group that influenced change in the Australian colonies and in Australian society since Federation. Another would be differences in the demographic, economic, social and cultural characteristics of countries across the world. These descriptors encourage students to explore the different experiences of education of people in the past and people in other countries and cultures. Merging history, geography, and arts promotes integrated and interdisciplinary learning and teaching. Why imagination? Because without it, education is utterly empty. Too many students end up better prepared for taking tests than for being skillful learners in the world beyond school. There are numerous ways that the pedagogies of art should be employed when teaching all subjects. Creating works of art, as well as discussing other people's works of art, are effective tools in developing creative thinking skills. John Locke, a foundational philosopher, believed the child's mind was an empty vessel into which experience and hence knowledge could be simply deposited. According to Jean Piaget, through his theory of cognitivism, although children can understand abstract ideas, it remains true that concepts, ideas, relationships are better explained and learned when they are illustrated by concrete examples. Gardner's multiple intelligences are promoted through the learning of the arts. The 8 ways of teaching and learning include words, in linguistic intelligence, numbers or logic, logical mathematical intelligence, pictures, spatial intelligence, music, musical intelligence, self-reflection, intrapersonal intelligence, a physical experience, bodily kinesthetic intelligence, a social experience, interpersonal intelligence, and an experience in the natural world, naturalist intelligence. This installation would focus on a self-reflection, intrapersonal intelligence. Thank you for watching.